Good morning, children. Suprabhat. I am PL Misra. On behalf of Education for You, is going to discuss about speech, that is narration. Today will be discussed part 12. Part 12. Yesterday we have discussed exclamatory sentences. There we found the sudden reaction of the sentence. When we found any sudden reaction, that means having seen the flower, William Wordsworth impressed and expressed his voice, that means exclaimed with joy. The next one was there, having seen the dead body, mother exclaimed with sorrow, exclaimed with grief. That is sudden reaction that we have already learnt yesterday. But today we have to learn, that is interrogative sentence. How the interrogative sentence is coming and forming here. I have divided interrogative sentences into two categories. First one is simple interrogative. The next one is complex interrogative. By means of a helping verb, first of the sentence we construct simple interrogative, and tomorrow the complex interrogative will come. How it will be formed, tomorrow that we'll discuss. But today our discussion is about simple interrogative. We have to use helping verb first of the sentence. Let's come here. But before going to subject, I am telling you, you all have to, while you are reading, you all have to recall your formula. That formula, all formula have been given you in assertive sentence. Everywhere that formula will implement, but the expression will change. How the expression is changing here, that I am indicating you. Or that means you have to keep in your mind here the changes will come, that is asked, that is wanted to know of, but don't write wanted to know. You have to use wanted to know of or inquired of, or you may write there questioned. That means this type of, because it is completely based upon your interrogative sentence, that you have to conjunct all these phrases, that is asked, wanted to know of, and inquired of, and questioned. Let us come to discuss about it bit by bit. Let's come here. Direct speech. X said to Y. X said to Y, comma, within inverted comma, is it your house? X said to Y, is it your house? That is within inverted comma. How it will be changed into indirect speech? X asked Y. That means instead of said to, here you have to use asked Y. That means X said to Y. Here will be X asked Y whether that was his house. Or you may write X asked Y if that was his house. Here you have to introduce whether and if. That means whether and if is the conjunction. You may use either whether or if. But look at here, this one is present and it has, because a reporting verb is past, here will be, that means if this one is present in a indirect space, it will be past. I have given you formula. That's why X asked Y whether that was his house. Or you may write X asked Y if that was his house. Let's come here. Direct space. X said to Y. X said to Y, are you doing this work? X said to Y, are you doing this work? In indirect space, same thing. Instead of said to, asked Y. X asked Y whether he was doing that work. Whether he was doing that work or if he was doing that work. Because here was, are you doing this work? It will be he was doing that work. Next come here, direct space. X said to Y. X said to Y, did you do this work? Did you do this work? In indirect space, X asked Y whether he had done that work. Here we found indefinite reporting verb, past indefinite, and reporting verb and reported speech, that is also past indefinite. As per formula, if you found both are past and reported speech in indefinite, past indefinite, with what will happen, what reaction will happen whenever we are going to change this one into indirect space, that will perfect, past perfect will come, or that will remain in same position in indefinite position, past indefinite position, or you may go towards past perfect. Same thing happened here. X said to Y, did you do this work? In indirect space, X asked Y whether he had done that work, or X asked Y if he had done that work. Let's come here. That is direct space. X said to Y. X said to Y, was he doing this work? Was he doing this work? Look at here. The helping verb is coming first. Here also helping verb did. Here is also helping verb which. Helping verb. This is simple interrogative. X said to Y, was he doing this work? In indirect space, that is X said Y, or X questioned Y whether he had been doing that work or if he had been doing that work. How it was happened so? Because I have told you, if reporting formula is there, if reporting verb is in past and reported speech in imperfect, past imperfect, what the formula will come in case of indirect space? That will perfect continuous, past perfect continuous will come. If we find past imperfect in indirect space, in reported space, that will change whenever you are going to change this one into indirect space. Here same thing, you may use here X asked Y or X questioned Y whether he had been doing that work or if he had been doing that work. Let's come here. That is direct space. X said to Y. X said to Y, will you buy me a storybook? X said to Y, will you buy me a storybook? Here past, reporting verb past, reported speech future. That is, what will happen? Here will same thing. Look at here. Indirect space. X wanted to know of. X wanted to know of Y whether he would buy a storybook. X wanted to know of Y if he had buy a storybook. Here will becomes would, and you may use here wanted to know of, or you may use here asked to, or asked Y. X asked Y, or X wanted to know of Y. Here X wanted to know of Y whether he would buy a storybook or if he had buy a storybook. Let's come here. X said to Y, do you know the way to Puri? X said to Y, do you know the way to Puri? Here, X inquired of Y. X inquired of Y. X inquired of Y whether he knew the way to Puri. Whether he knew the way to Puri, or if he knew the way to Puri. Let's come here. Direct space. X said, can I do this work now? X said, can I do this work now? In indirect space, X said, whether he could do that work then. Here is now, then it will change. I have told you, here is can, then it will change into could. Then once again, X said, can I do this work now? In indirect space, X said whether he could do that work then, or if he could do that work then. Next come here, X said to Y, may I do this work? X said to Y, may I do this work? Here, X asked Y whether he might whether he might do that work, or you may write if he might do that work. Let's come here, direct space. X said to Y, have you done this work? X said to Y, have you done this work? You may write here, X wanted to know of Y. X wanted to know of Y. Or you may write here, X inquired of Y whether he had done that work, or if he had done that work. But here no change in reporting verb. In direct space, reported speech was in past perfect. In whenever we are going to change in direct space, that the reported speech, the sequence of the tense remain unchanged. Here was head, past perfect. Also here was head, that is past perfect. I have already taught you about unchanged sequence. But whenever you face past perfect and past perfect continuous in reported speech, in direct speech, there will be no any change. It will remain constant. Keep in your mind, past perfect and past perfect continuous. It will not change. But what is changing here? The conjunction word is changing here. And it depends upon you. How you use, what the gravity of the sentence, what the sentence wants, and there is the competitive and complementary reaction of the subject and words, and subject and words, what the subject wants and what the verse is going onwards or going towards. That should be judged first. Then after we have to use asked or wanted to know of or inquired of or question. That is conjunction word will be added here. I hope all my loving children, you have got better understanding here, and it is my sincere request of what I taught before you. You have to collect that one and practice again and again. And this is all about my teaching. I hope if anybody likes my teaching, they do subscribe and share their friends and relatives. Thanks.